So I've called this section consumer protection, consumer rights, lemon law. This is just a general category of, let's say you buy something, you're a consumer, whether it's a good or a service, you buy a car, or you buy an electronic, whatever it is, and something goes wrong, like it's a defective product, something's wrong with it, your rights as a consumer have been violated, and you want to enforce those rights somehow. This is pretty common where people, it's an emotional thing. People spend a lot of money on something, it doesn't work, or it's broken, or it injures something. Now, if a product or a service injures someone, that's personal injury, and there's a separate section on that. So I would refer you to that section. But in terms of, I bought a product and it's not working, they didn't do what they were supposed to, and a lot of times those are sometimes called lemon laws when it comes to cars, autos. So, people get emotional and they're like upset. Okay, I spent all this money on something, it doesn't work. What rights do I have? So you have to look at each state. So where did you buy it? And look at their state law. Plus, if there's any kind of contract or agreement between you and the vendor who you bought it from, you want to look through that and say, okay, whether it's an electronic contract or whatever it is, maybe there isn't one. But if there is, read through it and see what rights might be in there. And also state law may provide you certain rights as a consumer. And so those are like consumer protection statutes. So in your state, look up consumer protection statutes in the state of Delaware or wherever you are to see what the state law provides as well. Because sometimes there's remedies under state law, or even sometimes there's like an attorney general who enforces consumer rights, and you can file a complaint with them sometimes. So look into what all your rights might be in that state. And if you're, okay, I really got screwed here, I want to sue somebody over this and go after them. Usually you're going to be paying out of pocket. So the majority of attorneys are not going to take a consumer case like that unless you're paying them hourly. So meaning, yeah, I'll sue, XYZ company that sold you that defective product that doesn't work, or they won't give you their money back. So yeah, I'll sue them. Just pay me $350 an hour and give me $10,000 up front to bill against as a deposit, and let's see where it goes. Well, it's going to cost you a lot of money and a lot of time. And unless the contract says, there's some way that you can recover those attorney's fees, then it may not be worth fronting your money to go after, unless it's several hundreds of thousands of dollars that you lost. But you're not going to be able, most people are like, oh, well, I'm emotionally distressed or damaged. Be cautious about that, because the chance of recovering those types of or punitive damages, stuff like that, by state law in most states is very difficult to do. So don't think you're just going to go in and get some huge settlement. You might get your money back. You might get some potential penalties or interest or something against them, depending on the state. So research the state law on it first. If you feel like, and there's some types of products are covered by consumer protection statutes that will pay for your attorney. They'll force the other side to pay so you can recover your attorney's fees from them. For example, in California, there's a lemon law. So if you buy a car, it's had defects, you've tried to fix it, and you keep taking it back and they never fix it. In some cases, you're allowed to give the car back, get your money back. There's certain penalties you might be able to get. In those cases, the statute says that if you hire an attorney, the person who sold it to you, the defective car, has to pay that attorney. So it's like a contingency fee. So there are attorneys that take those type of cases on a contingency without you putting any money up front. If that's the case, then, and there is a situation like that, do it. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. They might get a little money out of what you normally would have recovered, but it's usually going to be worth it for them to walk you through the process, especially if it's going nowhere as you're trying to do it on your own. Otherwise, trying to recover money for a consumer issue is usually a little too cost prohibitive. It's going to cost you a lot of money to hire an attorney for it. Try to see what you can do on your own, see what the state law says, file claims against them, or if they have insurance. This could be even like movers. A lot of times there's certain moving companies are covered by licensing or insurance. There could be a separate process for that in your state to go after a moving company that had a defective service, essentially. So that's the biggest thing I would tell you is look up your state law and consumer protection statutes in that state, see what's available to you. And if it's something like a car where there's lemon laws that provide attorney's fees are covered by the seller, then yeah, go talk to a lemon law attorney and hire them to help you, deal with your issue. Otherwise, a lot of times, if you just approach them and say, hey, I want my money back or what have you, see what you can get out of it. There's no reason to spend a bunch of money hiring an attorney to pursue it in court, because a lot of times you'll never get that money back. So a lot of times those are cases that are not worth pursuing, unfortunately.